Hey guys, it's Shelby here with my rather large basket of goodies to tell you what zero waste swaps I think are going to be best for 2021. Some of these are the ones that I got the most use out of in 2020, so I think that you would get a lot of use out of them in the new year as well. And or some things I recently discovered that I think are just really, really cool, so I think they'll be some of the best ones for 2021. I usually do these videos at the very beginning of the year, so we're getting a little late in January. Hopefully you guys are still amped, or maybe this video gets you amped for the new year. So let's go through some of my favorite things, shall we? But first, let's give a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. If you guys need an online store, website, or even if you just need a domain, make sure you check out Squarespace. There's a link at the top of the description to give you a little discount, along with links to everything I talk about today. Everything that I can link, I will. So check that out as well. It wouldn't be a 2020/2021 video if we didn't have a reusable face mask, now would it? I won't do this whole section like this because everybody knows how hard it is to talk to someone with a mask on, so we won't leave it on. But this is one of my favorite ones. This is by a small company out of San Francisco. They use, I think, reused materials for this, or organic cotton, one of the two. And I just think this is very significant for 2020/2021 because it says vote, obviously, which was a huge deal for the last year, going into the new year as well, from here on out. And I have actually a blog post with a bunch of different sustainable, reusable face mask brands if you want to check them out. And this one is in the blog post as well if you want to check out this one specifically. But reusable face masks, can't do without them anymore, huh? Something else I'm keeping in my backpack that I'm using all the time is hand sanitizer. I found a few brands at the very beginning of lockdown that sold things like in bulk, so big jugs. I'll link some of those below. I also found By Humankind. They were selling it at the very beginning in aluminum bottles, which was really cool. This is what I keep in my backpack. It's by a brand called Kind. So this is actually made from ocean plastic and it is refillable. And I think their refills come in aluminum tubes. This is just a really, really handy thing to make sure you're keeping yourself and others safe. I highly recommend getting one of these if you don't already have a hand sanitizer situation that's more sustainable, but can't talk about 2020 and 2021 without hand sanitizer, can we? Next thing actually isn't in my basket, but it is my Fluoride soap. So the dish soap I use is a refill system from a small woman-owned business out of North Carolina. And once she sends you the bulk bottle of soap, you refill your pump bottle and then send it back to her. It's a reuse refill system, which I love. I wanted to include that in this video because A, I've been doing a lot more dishes this year considering we're eating at home a lot more and have more time to spend in the kitchen. But B, I've also just been using that same soap to wash my hands. Soap is soap. I don't really see the need in having two different bottles of soap at my kitchen sink. So Fluoride has been one of my favorite swaps for 2020, and I will continue using them obviously into 2021. I'm not gonna say this every time, but I'll have them linked below. Along with hand sanitizer and hand soap, we cannot skip out on hand lotion. Well, this is technically a body lotion, but you can use it for your hands. I always use it for my hands. I have mini travel sizes of this in my backpack and in my car, and I have a full size in my office and upstairs in my bedroom. This is Plains lotion, which is also a refillable, reusable system. When you're done, you just take this out. Ooh, yeah, this one is empty. I just got replacements for Christmas. So this one needs to be sent back and they will refill it, and they won't send you a pump every time. They'll just send you like a little aluminum lid that you can put back on when you send it back. I hate the feeling of dry hands, so this has been a lifesaver. There are also other options like lotion bars if you like those, but this is what I choose. I really, really love this brand, and so can't live without this. Going into the new year, couldn't live without it last year. Couple more things that are like pandemic specific is my toilet paper. Couldn't live without Who Gives a Crap toilet paper. I've talked about them for a very long time, but they make their toilet paper out of recycled paper and or they have a bamboo line too, which bamboo is a much more sustainable material to be making things like toilet paper out of. This one is the one that's made from recycled paper. It ships plastic free as well. If you guys remember when toilet paper was selling out, I didn't have to worry about that because A, they ship it to me in boxes of 48 when you order from them. That's how it comes. And B, if you're subscribed, you are guaranteed to get your box the next time your subscription came around. Whereas if you weren't on the subscription model, it was kind of iffy if you were gonna get a box or not, and you know how it was in stores. So this was super clutch for me. I also have a $10 off discount code for these guys. It'll be in the description. But Who Gives a Crap is my ride or die toilet paper brand. And I love this thing, but you see what I did there? But I also love my bidet. So I still do use toilet paper. The reusable toilet cloth thing has been working out the best so far. I haven't given up on it, but I'm still using toilet paper, but I also love my bidet. I originally bought the bidet to test it out in a video that you guys asked me to buy it. I'll link that video up here. It was testing out brands that you guys see on Instagram. That's one of my favorite videos of all time on my channel, but I originally bought it to make that video. Didn't think I was gonna fall in love, and then I did. And every time I have to be away from my bidet, I am upset. This is my office and it's on the bottom floor. My bidet is in my bathroom on the second floor, and I will go up there if I have to go number 2 during the day. And I also asked for Madison to install one for me downstairs, so fingers crossed that she ends up doing that for me. There's no way to describe how much more clean it feels when you are using a bidet than when you just use toilet paper. And I know for a lot of people in the US, because outside of the US, apparently these are very normal. For people in the US, it sounds really weird, but I promise it's literally the best thing. So who gives a crap subscription combined with my bidet this year with all the toilet paper shortages, we're just like that, clutch. Another thing that I could not live without last year or this year is my physical planner. This planner is refillable, so I've been reusing the covers and these little discs every year. The papers and the little like dividers, they come in and out. You just pull them off of the binders here. I've tried out many different planners. I've also tried just using plain notebooks. I've tried bullet journaling. Obviously, I've tried digital planning. All of those things are just not as helpful as this is for me. This works really well, helps me keep organized by month and by week and by day and by hour. So I couldn't live without this planner. And I just have like, not an affiliate link, but like, you know, when you sign up, when you buy something, they're like,
send this to your friends and they'll get $10 and you'll get $10.
I think I have a link like that for these guys. I'll have it linked below. I just couldn't live without this, and I figured I'd put it in here, especially considering it's the beginning of the year and everybody's trying to get organized and get their lives back on track. So
clutch.
Also can't have a video of my favorite zero waste swaps without talking about Thinx underwear. I mean, I'm not gonna spend too much time talking about these. These are my Thinx reusable period underwear. You guys have heard me talk about these. I have a zero waste period routine. I'll link it up here if you haven't seen it before. Basically, these are my substitute for pads or tampons. I've never used a tampon. Fun fact, if you didn't know that. And so the cup was just not my natural next step. I had a lot of issues with leaking with reusable pads, so I said goodbye to those. And now I literally exclusively use these on my period, and I have a $10 off discount code for them as well. I'll have it linked in the description, but I just feel like I finally have a routine that works for me where I don't have to worry about leaking when I'm asleep or when I'm out. I don't have to worry about creating waste or anything. These are just really, really good. So had to give them a shout out. If you haven't tried them, I highly recommend. I also couldn't leave out my Pila case that I made with Pila. It's compostable materials with my quote on it. You cannot do all the good the world needs, but the world needs all the good that you can do. That is sold exclusively at Earth Hero, and we are working on figuring out what size phones everyone needs, because right now, like I said, I had to buy the stock myself. So I know that a lot of you wanted it, but we didn't have the one in your phone size. And I'm sorry about that, but I promise we're trying to figure it out. But if you do have a phone size that it fits, definitely go check it out, because it's a really, really good one. But also just Pila cases in general. People ask me all the time, like,
Is it actually protective of your phone? I drop my phone a lot. Da, 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 da.
I can tell you, like, before I had a Pila case, right? This was 3 years ago, maybe more. Before I had Pila cases, I was using a LifeProof case, and I dropped my phone twice with a LifeProof case, and it literally fell apart. So LifeProof cases are not very LifeProof. That or Pila is quite protective for what it is, and I have not broken my phone in the last 3 years, despite all the drops that I have done with a Pila case on it. So that's just been my experience. I've never had an issue, and I love the fact that my phone case will not be on this planet forever. Yeah, shout out Pila. I'll have the link below. Next are my stasher bags. You guys know I'm just a stan of stasher bags. Obviously, I have a lot of them. I grabbed one of each kind. So this is like the gallon size bags. The stand-up ones, they stand up like this. And then they obviously have just your standard sandwich size bag. Stasher bags themselves are a B Corporation. They're part of 1% for the Planet. They're woman-owned, and they are super high quality. I honestly don't think the other brands out there that are trying to compete with them stand any chance. I just haven't seen a brand that had anywhere near the quality that Stasher does. So I always highly recommend those. And since I've been cooking a lot more this year, like I said, and since I'm also trying to be more healthy here in the new year, as I know is a lot of people's goals, I've been using those a lot more. So Stasher bags, best swaps for 2021. and beyond. I wanted to give a huge shout out mention in this video to ThredUp and Poshmark, because obviously going thrift shopping is not as safe as it used to be, or it's actually quite risky, but I feel like from what I've read, it's not like one of the most risky behaviors. There are much more risky things than going to a thrift store, but obviously if you can stay home and not go to a thrift store, that's ideal. So I've been utilizing Poshmark and ThredUp a lot more over the last year than I was pre-pandemic times, and I think it's something that we should all strive to be doing in 2021 as well. So I wanted to put that in here for sure. I just think they're really great services, and if it can avoid us going out and possibly getting anybody else sick or spreading the virus, I think we should all be doing that. I couldn't do a zero waste swaps video without talking about my favorite deodorant, which is by Native, because in 2020 they actually switched from plastic packaging to cardboard packaging, completely compostable, and I feel like this community here on this channel had a lot to do with that. So I'm very, very proud of Native deodorant. It's the only natural deodorant I've ever found that worked for me, and now it's sustainably packaged, and I have absolutely no reason not to be using this. So if you want to try this out, I think I have a permanent discount code with them. I'll have it below, but this is the best natural deodorant I have ever found, and the fact that now it is zero waste because it is plastic free and compostable, who's gonna beat this? Literally no one. So definitely the best zero waste deodorant of 2020, and one I highly recommend as we go into 2021. And if you've seen my laundry routine, you know that I switched my laundry detergent this year. After using the same one for a long time and then testing on another one for a little while, I landed on Drops, and I'm not switching anymore. I'll have my laundry routine linked up here if you haven't already seen it, but basically Drops ships completely plastic free, completely carbon neutral. They've won awards from the EPA for their pods and their water safety. They have a breakdown of every single ingredient on their website where you can go directly to the EPA and read what the stats and the studies and the data are behind all of their ingredients. You can get it on a subscription service, and it's really just one of the best laundry detergents I've seen. It's only 22 cents a load, so highly recommend. Also, discount code in the description for these guys, but this is not sponsored by any of these brands. They're all just things that I genuinely love and use, and I started using this in 2020, and so hence going into 2021, I think it is one of the best laundry detergents for someone trying to live a more sustainable life. So they come in cardboard boxes, not in these jars. This is just what I put it in my laundry room. So yes, love Drops. Okay, this is the only, wait, is this the only clothing item I have? I think it is. So this is a bodysuit. It's just literally plain and white by Pact. I have fallen in love with this freaking thing. I wear it all the time under everything, with shorts, with pants, with leggings, under sweaters, by itself, with a cardigan, like whatever you want to say. Bodysuits are just really, really I don't know, easy to throw on, easy to wear. And a lot of times basics like this are hard for me to find secondhand. So when I find a sustainable brand making something really, really good like this is high quality. It's not just cheap crap. I've already worn this thing probably over 50 times and has no signs of wear or issues or anything like that. They're not super size inclusive, which is one critique I have of the brand. They're pretty affordable and their sustainability features are all pretty good, but I will say they only go up to, I think, XXX, which is what size this is. It's what size I wear, so I'm able to buy from them. But this bodysuit comes in like white, black, and gray, but they only have certain colors at certain times, so I have to keep my eyes on the website trying to get the color that I want. But I just had to give a shout out to this bodysuit because it's just so good. Oh man, I moved my blue light blocking glasses out of my basket because I was wearing them right before I started this. Please allow one moment for this intermission. I'll be right back. Okay. I could not live without blue light blocking glasses. My whole life basically revolves around me looking at a computer, as I'm sure many of our lives do. So many of our lives revolve around technology today. And so blue light blocking glasses, I could not live without them. I think they're really cute. These ones are from Pila. I'll have them linked for you. I also have a whole blog post about sustainable eyewear brands, so I'll link that below if you want to check that out. But basically, these have just been really helpful. I mean, this is all very anecdotal, what I'm gonna give you right now. But I've been trying to work on my energy levels. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you've probably heard me complain about my energy levels plenty of times. Basically, your brain sees blue light and it keeps it awake. So I start wearing these once the sun goes down to help block blue light. I feel like it's made a significant difference for me. So if you're looking for blue light blocking glasses, I really like these, but surely there are several other brands out there. But just sustainable brands are really cool to support. So I think the further we go into this pandemic and just into the future in general, the more we're all gonna be working from home, the more we're gonna be working from our computers, hence blue light blocking glasses for 2021, a good swap. Okay, some of these are just my tried and true swaps, but I can never leave them out of a video when I'm talking about best swaps. Did you see that? Did you see that little pod turn into a bag? This is my reusable, collapsible Chico bags that I've been using for years. If you've been on this channel, you might be sick of me talking about them, but I use these things all the time. They always come in handy. This is my oldest one, so it just gets like so small, so easy. I really like this one. It's like not starched anymore, you know what I mean? Like just it gets so small, so easy. They're just really easy, collapsible, simple to use, simple to clean. I don't know, just really love these. Now this is a new fun one. This is a Do Mighty Serum bar. So I did a video with Hiram. If you missed it, again, I'll link it up here. I'll also link it below. I might be running out of links up here. But basically this is a serum bar that comes package free to you. This is just a tin that they give you the first time so that you can have it to store it in long term. But this is a little serum bar here, and it has some really great ingredients. Hiram said he thought it was a really good product. And so I've been using it. I've been really loving it. There are very, very, very few brands out there who are actually package free, because I got a lot of comments on the video I did with Hiram asking why I didn't include some of the brands that I personally use, and that's because they're not zero waste package free brands. I think a lot of brands package in glass, and that's great, but it's not zero waste. Essentially this can ship to you package free, whereas if you're buying glass bottles every few months, I think it's not nearly as sustainable or even close to zero waste as this is. So I think it's a little high scale, but they're doing something very innovative. So I couldn't skip it without this one. I think this is a really cool brand, and I hope to see more brands, or maybe more from this brand, in the realm of zero waste skincare. Well, I forgot to grab my tooth tabs, and I'm not going upstairs for you, but I am proud to announce that I did find a tooth tab brand in the US with fluoride. Can I have a round of applause? You guys know the texture of toothy tabs really, really, really bothers me, but if it means that I get to have fluoride in my toothpaste, I'm all here for it. Also, if you leave conspiracy theories that are not backed by science in the comments, I will delete them about fluoride. Okay, we're not here for the pseudoscience, we're just not. So I was very excited to find that. I think they launched at the very end of 2020, so best swaps for 2021 for sure. That's going to be one of them, and I'll have a link below. This coffee sock has so many purposes, and again, since I've been in the kitchen more, I have found more of them. We have an orange tree, or sorry, a tangerine tree outside. People on the vlog were just coming for me because it's not an orange tree. But we have a tangerine tree outside, and we wanted to make juice from the tangerines. So we just threw them into the blender and then kind of strained them through this. So you can use it to make juice, you can use it to make coffee, you can use it to make tea, you can use it to make nut milks, whatever. This is just a really, really versatile little piece of kitchen equipment. You can also just use cheesecloth, but just the shape of this makes it easier in my opinion. So I've been getting a lot of use out of this. My soda stream, I didn't lug it in here to show you, but the soda stream is also super clutch for someone who is just trying to quit soda here in the new year. I've been trying for years, but you guys would be proud to know that I have not had one in like 2 weeks, which is the longest I've gone in a long time without a soda. So my soda stream has been really helpful just to have fizzy carbonated water. You can put Mios in it, which don't have sugars, or you can use just like fruit juice or whatever, just to give it a little bit of flavor, like lime juice or something. SodaStream has their own take back recycling program, so it's a really sustainable, like circular system over there. And you can also get a ton of SodaStream secondhand. We got ours secondhand. So just keep an eye out for them if you want one. A really sustainable and also a lot more affordable option for, you know, sodas or carbonated waters, or what do they call them? Mineral waters or something. This tiffin, honestly, it has seen a little bit of action more recently. The reason I included this is because for 2020, I really didn't go to restaurants at all, so this didn't get used nearly as much in 2020 as it did the years prior. But I'm hoping in 2021, it makes a little bit of a comeback for me, at least for outside dining. I feel like we're trying to move more towards that, at least here in Texas. Still not something I'm doing super, super often, but anytime I go out to eat, always take this with me. You guys know I've had this for years, used it for years. Couldn't love these little guys more. So my reusable stainless steel tiffin had to make the best of a video. I couldn't leave it out. I also just wanted to give a quick shout out to my car, which is a Prius, because it is so fuel efficient without it being electric. There are quite a few issues with electric cars and the grid system and all that kind of stuff. I actually did a video talking about electric cars, which I'll link here if I can, or I'll link it below. I just want to shout out my Prius because I got it in 2020, I think. 2019? But it took us all the way from Texas to Maine, so I couldn't leave that out of here. It's just been one of my favorite things. And a lot of you guys ask me, like, if you could, what kind of car would I recommend, or do I recommend the Prius? And like the answer is yes, I freaking love my car. So I just want to put that in here really quick. Also just because I needed one more to make 25. Number 23 is voting, because obviously 2020 was a huge year where we saw democracy. Okay, say it with me. Democracy and voting actually make a monstrous change in the world, which I couldn't be more proud of. And I'm super excited to see how that continues into 2021. So please never forget to keep contacting your representatives, to actually be voting, to use the voice that you have, and to do everything in your power to hold those big corporations and people in politics accountable. Voting is the best swap of 2020 and into 2021. Also, growing my own food has been a lot of fun. Obviously, when we went into lockdown, I felt really grateful that we had the ability to grow anything, because I was really worried about what food was gonna look like. Obviously, we had some weird like moments of food shortage in the beginning of all of this. So growing my own food has been a really big honor. We also have like a garden now in our home. It's called a garden with a Y. I've been really, really loving that, getting to see food grow in my literal kitchen with like greens, and just walking over and clipping cilantro like to make food has been so much fun. So I really, really love that. But just in general, whatever you're able to do to grow your own food, and that's been one of my favorite swaps in 2020. The more food you can grow for yourself is not only really fun and rewarding, but better for the planet. Last but not least, something that's been a big deal in 2020, restaurants starting to use compostable or reusable takeout ware. We don't have any reusable like take back programs here in San Antonio, but I know that those things have been piloted in like California, Oregon, Washington, where basically restaurants start a system where they give you your food in a reusable container, and there's like a system to kind of like get them picked up and dropped off. But here, at least I'm really grateful for the places who are using bioplastics, because we have free industrial composting here, and using the cardboard and the paper packaging instead of all the plastic and styrofoam. So just huge shout out to businesses doing their best to stay afloat in this crazy world, but also to be more sustainable along the way. I've just been really grateful for the woke vegans, is what I call them, who also care about sustainability. So huge shout out to them. A lot of my favorite restaurants, small businesses have closed down this year. So just always remember to support, and huge shout out I wanted to give to the ones who are staying open and still caring about the planet. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you watch this whole video, you know I talk way too much, so I'm sure this video is going to be way too long. We'll see if Tara's able to make this video any shorter. Tara, how'd it go?
It definitely could have been better.
Everything I talked about is going to be linked below. And also, I want to give another huge thank you to Squarespace for partnering with me in this video. So let's talk a little bit more about them. Like I said, Squarespace is an all-in-one platform, so you can look to them to build an online store, website, or even just if you need to purchase a domain. Squarespace makes setting up a website super easy because you don't need to learn coding. They already have some beautiful templates over there that you can customize to be exactly what you're looking for. Squarespace makes it easy to connect your social media and to also take advantage of their blogging tools. You can do email campaigns through Squarespace because it is an all-in-one platform, like I mentioned. With their 24-hour customer service and traffic insight tools, it makes it the easiest way to build a website on the internet today. So when you're ready to launch, head over to squarespace.com/Shelbizleee for 10% off of your first purchase.